This course is titled Word 1 and it's starting off with Microsoft Word 2013. The specific items that we will cover for this course are styles, contents, headers and footers, page numbers, tables and pictures. And so we start off with Microsoft Word. This is Microsoft Word from Office 2013. And you can see, as with any other of the Microsoft Office products, when you just start the program, it will offer you a selection of templates that are pre-done that you can download and use, or you can search for templates online that may help you along with what you're doing. Today we're going to choose a blank document, and that will open up with the standard ribbon. This can change. If you remember, we talked in previous courses about the little chevrons and how that changes everything and so on. So if you're doing these courses in order, then you will find some of the previous information useful in this one. What we might do first of all, just have a quick look at view. So you can see that this is our view. That's the page view that I'm working on. And if I look at that, that's 150%. If I want a better representation of the page, I can say, let's look at it 100%. All this will depend on the size of screen that you're working on. Let's get back to home. So normally people start off with Microsoft Word. They've got a blank piece of paper and they just start to type. And they might muck around with various font sizes and colours and things like that, and just work their way down the document and end up with a typed document, not dissimilar to what you may have achieved using a typewriter. But this is Microsoft Word. It's a word processor. It's a very powerful piece of software, and most people don't use just the standard really good options that it provides to us. So what we're going to do is look at creating a document. So we'll have a title, we'll have a contents, we'll have some headings and so on. We'll have a footer later on with the page numbers and that sort of thing. And we'll set that up as a standard document that you can save for yourself. And whenever you want to start off, you can bring that up to start and type over the headings and so on. And it saves you just starting from a blank space. But here we have page 1 of 1, as you can see down the bottom, and there's no words in it. So the first thing I'm going to do is insert a cover page, and that's pre-set up for us. And if we want to, we can choose from a selection of pre-written front pages or cover pages. And I'm going to go for this one here, the very first one. And it gives you some ideas of what you might do. So things you want to type in here. Good stuff. Document title. My docs. Subtitle. Starting with Word. And it's already knows I'm logged in and it stuck my name at the bottom. That's fair enough, we can leave that there. So that's created a new page 1 and we're into now page 2 of 2. And I want to leave that blank to put my contents in. So to quickly move forward, I can from here just insert a page break, or I can insert a page break by holding down Control and pressing Enter, and it just takes me down to the start of a new page. Now I'm on page 3 of 3. I'm going to go back to home and we're going to start putting in some paragraph or section headings using styles. So across the top here you can see some styles, lots of them, and you can create them for yourself and so on. We might have a look at that in future courses. But for today we're just going to use some of the standard. So my first heading, I'm going to use the style heading 1, and then maybe that would be your introduction or something like that. Maybe that section has a subsection in it, so we're going to call that heading 2 style. And if the heading 2 style section had a subsection, we'd use heading 3. And then within each one of these, if we click there, you can see we're back to normal and we can start to type. And again, text, and so on. So working in your document, there's your 3 styles that you might be using, and there's the information that you're going to type within each one of those. I'm going to copy that and paste it, and paste it, and paste it, and then I can use that standard format there to start putting in my sections. Introduction, why, when, cost, once, off, ongoing, implementation, and so on. So I'm laying out my document ready to fill in the information later. Now let's go back to that blank page we created up here. Click at the top of that and select references. And over on the left here we have table of contents. And you can see that they automatically pull the table of contents from those headings 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So let's choose this one. And immediately you can see that the headings we've typed in, this is style heading 1, indented heading 2, and again indented heading 3, and so on as we move down the page. So those are the ones we've typed some fairly reasonable information into, and the others we've just got that basic template ready to work with. So I'm going to go back and change some of those. So heading style 2, implementation, we'll call that planning implementation, and within that we might have training, and here we've got go live, change management, staff, party. Well, now if we go back to the contents, you'll see that it's still the same as it was before. But now if I right click and say update field, update table, entire table, and you can see now it says for each of the headings what I've just typed in. And they're all on page 2. So let's see what happens if we separate them out. So I want the introduction and I want cost starting from a page of its own. So press Control and Enter, and I get cost starting on its own page. Same with implementation. Same with go live, Control and Enter. And there we are. Now we've got them all on their own pages. Now another quick tip there, if I hold down Control and press Home, I go right back to the beginning. So Control Home will take you to the beginning. Back to my table of contents, update the field again, and now you see that it's given me the new page numbers. Another quick tip, if I want to go directly, say, to implementation, hold down the control key and I get the hand, there is my cursor, click there on number 4 and off I go straight to implementation. And now we're going to move on to look at headers and footers. So if I right click at the top of the page, I get the option to edit the header. And I can just type in here, or I can go over to the icon on the left on my ribbon, click that and choose for some preset headers. I'm going to choose this one here, and it's picked up the title of my document and put that across as a header. Now that will appear on every page. But what I'm going to do is I don't want it on the first page, on the front page of the document. So I'm going to uncheck or check the different first page. There we go. So if I look at my pages now, each one has got my docs as a header, except for the very first page. There we are. I also want a footer, and in the footer I want to put page numbers. So right click at the bottom of any page, edit footer, different first page. I don't want it on the first page. I want a page number at the bottom of the page that looks like that. And that's all I need to do. Escape out of there. And I've got all the page numbers on the right hand side. Headers and footers, straightforward, using right click at the top or the bottom of the page. Next thing I want to do is have a look at inserting a table into the text that you've got there. So I'm going to go down to the cost section, and after the text I've got there in once off costs, I'm going to go up here to the top left, say insert a table, and I'm going to have that 4 columns across and currently 2 down. Now this is by far the best way of formatting text within a Word document. You see people doing things like this, they'll press the space bar and try and move along and write things in, and then they wonder why it all goes out of whack later on. So putting in a table allows you to get text and or pictures in exactly the right place. So here I've got, let's say we're doing the once off cost for a project. So we might have item number, description, quantity, cost, anything like that. You can format these tables. As soon as you highlight a table, you see here I immediately get a design highlighted on the ribbon, and I can change the design of the table to have it any way I want. So I quite like that one. Let's choose that one as my table design. Now as I write into here, item 1, stuff, quantity 1, costs $8.50. As soon as I press tab now, press tab on my keyboard, it gives me a new line. And as I press tab again each time, it goes through the cells, press again, gives me a new line, and you see it keeps the formatting. Very simple, very straightforward thing to do. Go to where you want to, go to insert and insert a table. The next commonly used thing is a picture. And I'm going to add a little bit more text here. This is using a picture to embed within text. Put the spelling right, right click on the word with a red underline and check the spelling. I might need a bit more text, but we'll try it with this. So I'm going to put in a picture. Now normally you'd start a new line, you'd say insert a picture, and we'll take a picture from ourselves. There's a nice one there, nice young man. Insert that picture. There we are. And that's what most people do, and then they press enter and carry on typing. But if you right click on the picture, you've got this option to wrap text. And this allows you to move the picture around, put it around text how you feel, and takes away all those restrictions that people were concerned about using pictures within Word. So I'm going to say here, I want, let's say tight. Okay, you see that the outline of the picture changes. Now I can move this around. See the way it works with the text? That means it's going inside wherever I'm dropping it. I'll put it where I like. Put it inside the table if I want. Now, if we choose a different option, let's have a look at what we've got in line with text. You can see now it does very little compared with what it did before when we had it typed. So you can see if you had a long paragraph, let's add some text to this. We'll just do a bit of copy and paste in here, and you can see the way it works. So that's quite a common thing to do. I might size that, and I can embed my picture into my text. Makes the formatting look much smarter. There we are. So very quickly there, putting in a picture. Remember to right click and look at wrap text. Now if your picture disappears or goes behind something, you've got this option here, bring it to the front, which if there's a picture on top of it, it will bring this one to the front, or send it to the back if you want it to move behind something else. Pictures and tables and standard text, headings, headers and footers, and contents. Quick introduction to Word. Thank you for completing the course. Now please take a couple of minutes to complete the questionnaire. This will allow us to see how you're getting on with the courses, and it will allow you to provide information to us on what you would like to see in courses in the future. Thank you again.